Nigeria's most notorious bandit kingpin, Turji, is back in another defiant video claiming attacks on security forces, threatening the Nigerian state and declaring readiness for either peace or war. But beyond the threats lies a more troubling question. Is this merely propaganda or evidence of deeper security gaps? This is Security Scope, the program that beams the truth on global security realities every week on Africa Independent Television, the station that puts security first. I am Ada Bison Ononye. When Security Scope returns, Turji's threats, fact, fiction, or dangerous reality. Stay with us. Welcome back. How does Nigeria's most wanted bandit still have the operational freedom to record a defiant video, issue threats, claim attacks on troops, and detect national conversation? That is our matter of the moment this week. For more than a decade, armed banditry in Nigeria's northwest has evolved from rural criminality into a deadly security crisis marked by mass killings, kidnappings, cattle rustling, village raids, and increasingly sophisticated attacks on both civilians and security formations. At the center of that crisis is Bello'S, widely regarded as one of Nigeria's most notorious bandit terrorist leaders. In recent days, Turji resurfaced in a fresh video claiming responsibility for that attack on security personnel and declaring he is prepared for either dialogue or confrontation with the Nigerian state. His claims come amid growing reports of renewed violence across parts of Sokoto and Zamfara states, including attacks along the Isa axis and rising concerns over the use of improvised explosive devices. But critical questions remain. Are Turji's latest claims factual, exaggerated, or purely psychological warfare? Is he truly regaining operational strength or simply weaponizing propaganda to project influence and spread fear? Security experts agree that modern asymmetric warfare is no longer fought only with weapons. It is also fought through information, deception, fear, and psychological dominance. This raises the bigger national security question. Beyond the rhetoric and counter-rhetoric, what does Turji's re-emergence reveal about intelligence gathering, operational coordination, and the broader fight against banditry in Nigeria's northwest? Should the authorities engage, escalate, or fundamentally rethink strategy? To help us examine the facts, the claims, and the implication for national security, we are now joined by Dr. Abdullahi Shinkafi, a security analyst and a one-time committee in Zamfara state government over security in the state. Thank you for joining us on Security Scope.
Thank you for having me.
So we have seen Turji Bello back in the news again. Dr. Shinkafi, what do you make of Turji's claims? Are they credible?
You see, the escalating security situation in the northwest region for over 1.5 decades is highly alarming and heartbreaking. Bello'S is one of the notorious armed bandits who has been declared wanted by the top military authority in Nigeria, I think for the past 10 years, I can say. Since 2015 to date, it's 11 years. And up to now, the security apparatus of the government have failed to apprehend him or to neutralize him following the declaration of the top military authority as one of the notorious armed bandits. The Bello'S operates in Katsina State, in Sokoto State and in Zamfara State. With the following fear or psychological discomfort he inserted to the members of the public, not only in the East Axis or Southern Borno Axis or Shinkapi Axis, but in the whole Northwest region.
For these latest claims by Turji Bello, I'm asking, are they propaganda or they are credible strength? Are they credible operational strength?
As I have said earlier, it is not a propaganda. Nobody should take Bello Turji or operational coordination lightly. Nobody should take him lightly. The authorities should not take him lightly. Whatever you had to just said, the military authority or the security apparatus should take it very serious, because he's very deadly, very notorious, and very heartless. So apart from even the remnant of the Boko Haram who came to train his foot soldiers, there is a report that the locals started chopper dropping arms and ammunition in his enclaves. And the Boko Haram who were training Turji foot soldiers, they were training them how to use explosives, how to use landmine to be attacking the military base. So nobody should take it lightly. What happened in Zamfara State, you have seen that the using of IEDs have escalated across the state now. In Magaria yesterday, from Kanwa to Magaria Road, they have planted that landmine. So locals traveling on the road, they have that blast. Many people died. In Kunchin Kalgo, they have planted that explosive. The same thing, the unit of the IED police unit in Zamfara State went to detonate it. And also in Bagega, Anka Bagega Road, they have planted that explosives, which have blown off the APC carrier vehicle, and 3 policemen died, which even the Inspector General of Police attended their funeral prayer. So this is is highly alarming and it's heartbreaking, and the authorities should not take it lightly. Even in Dole, Zulmi Axis, where Turji also controlled that territory, they attacked military on duty. 6 people were killed, they were ambushed just last week. So nobody should take his propaganda lightly. All these places I have been mentioning, he has an operational coordination where he coordinates this operation and perpetuate his
Dr. Shinkafi, you are not only from Zamfara State. Sorry, you are not only, I'll take that again. Dr. Shinkafi, you are not only a security analyst based on your experiences in the field and as the chairman of a security committee in Zamfara State at one time. You are also a son of the soil in Zamfara State. What do you think is the reason that Turji Bello seems to be slipping out of the hands of the Nigerian security forces?
I'm not only from Zamfara State, I'm from the same local government with Turji. And Turji is from Korea Ward. So from Shinkapi to Turji, even in clubs, it won't take you 10 kilometers to go to his hideout. But because of the failure of intelligence gathering and intelligence sharing, and Turji continue to perpetuate this crime and criminality. So, as I have said earlier, the government, but the insecurity situation has a multidimensional challenges. Federal government, state government, local government, political elites, and the locals, and even the socio-economic problem. So the government have to do everything humanly possible to address this issue squarely. Turji is making a threat, peace or war. The government should not go for any non-kinetic approach in addressing this Turji threat. There should be a total military actions.
Why are you against non-kinetic approach?
Yeah, because it has been for many time, for many years, successive government have been making move to make peace dialogue with this bandit, but they are not trustworthy. They are not sincere.
Give us examples.
The governor of Sokoto State, the former governor of Sokoto State, Waziri Tambuwal, went into peace dialogue with Turji and other criminal elements in the Sokoto State. After some time, that peace broke away. And even the Matawale, when he was a governor of Zamfara State, now the Minister of State for Defense, went into peace dialogue with this bandit. Abdulaziz Yari, the former governor of Zamfara State, went into peace dialogue with this. Masari went into peace dialogue with them. Obasani went into peace dialogue with them. All they have breached the trust. There is no need going into any peace dialogue with this criminal and bandit. I am in the opinion before that the government should go into dialogue with them because there was no readiness to end the banditry in the Northwest. But looking at the present situation, on daily basis, more than 140,000 people are being displaced. Many people, more than 2 to 3,000 on daily basis in the region, including Niger State, have been kidnapped and held ransom. Many people have been, all the economic activities have been in the, has been grounded, and all the farmlands have been deserted. So there is serious humanitarian and economic crisis in the Northwest region.
Do you by chance have an idea what is their reason for joining? You call it banditry, but I recall that sometime in 2021, the government of late President Buhari had proscribed them as terrorists. Well, I still call them terrorists based on that. Do you think they have a reason for embarking on banditry?
They have no reason, because what they are saying is a hopeless excuse. They are talking of that for the first few for the first many years, they were neglected by government. And what they were saying, it is not true. You cannot go to a hospital. You meet a doctor, and doctor will say he will not consult, or he will not see a Fulani extraction, or he will not see a Hausa or an Igbo or Yoruba. You cannot go to a primary school. They say they will not allow a Fulani extraction to be in that classroom. And you not go to market and say Fulani are not allowed to enter market. So these are some of the unnecessary, useless claims they are making, that they were denied social amenities, they were denied going to school, they were denied a lot of palliatives from the federal government and the state government and local government. These are hopeless excuses, because many people they don't have infrastructure. There is total neglect in some of this rural community. So it is not only the Fulanis or other tribes who are feeling the failure of government in their various domains.
Across the country?
Across the country. There is weak infrastructure, or judicial corruption, and many other things, and cattle stealing. So nobody should take people for granted and start perpetuating crime and criminality just for the purpose of this thing, excuse. So I look at it as a useless excuse, and government should go after them. Mr. President, as a commander-in-chief of armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, should go after them. But what pains me a lot is the comments by the Minister of State for Defense, why he mentioned it is only God that can end insecurity.
Why is that hurting you?
What is hurting me, as a respected citizen of this country, I uphold the letters of the Nigerian Constitution. Section 14 subsection 2B have made it clearly that the primary responsibility of every government is to provide security of lives and property and welfare of its people. if a minister can make this an offending remark and a public, then it shows that the government have failed in their responsibility. And those who have not found themselves in the corridor of power, the common men and women, their life is in danger.
Could it not have been also applying the provisions of this constitution you have quoted and at the same time be calling for divine help? I mean, it goes hand in hand.
Government appropriate funds from the fiscal budget annually on security and defense in trillions. Yet it has not matched with their performance of the security agencies. But I wonder if a minister of state for defense will make such a remark publicly on BBC, Deutsche Welle, and DCL Hausa, say it is only God that can end banditry.
What's the implication of that statement?
The implication, it means that he doesn't have the capacity, leadership capacity to hold that position. Because it's a serious threat for even the security on the front line. Their life is in danger. And also the Nigerians will lose hope. If you are talking about God's divine mission, that is different. Yes, of course, both Christian and Muslim believe in God. But you have to match it with action. Even if you are praying, you have to match it with action, counseling and other things. But you cannot be saying that only God will end security. You don't expect angels to come from the heaven and fight this war. Okay. We have police, we have army, we have many security apparatus. They should stand on their feet to fight this security.
Okay, you have just said you are kicking against the kinetic approach to resolving the Nigeria security concerns, especially in the
There are many ways you can do on the issue of kinetic approach. Yeah. You have to make sure that all the leakages, like this our porous border, you have to make, there should be a total border surveillance. There should be a community policing. There should be another way to fight poverty and other economic crises and humanitarian crisis. It's also part of a non-kinetic approach, blocking the logistics supply.
So what part of
chain.
What part of the kinetic approach are you against? Of what? Because you have just listed some of the kinetic approaches.
The kinetic approach I'm against is to make a peace dialogue with armed bandit. If you make a peace dialogue with armed bandit, what is the compensation for the victims of the armed banditry activities? How are you going to rebuild the society? What is the psychological comfort you are going to provide to the victims of these armed banditry activities? What are you going to say? Let me give you an example. A general who served a military for the past 35 years, Abakar Rabi, who died in the captivity of this heartless armed bandit, and his wife, they were held hostage by this armed bandit. How are you going to compensate his children and his relations? When you say you have bandits, like what the Kasana State governor said, bandits, they are our brothers. If they are your brothers and they killed many people, how are you going to compensate the victims? How are you going to rebuild the society? We cannot. We have to use everything humanly possible to make sure that these bandits are being crushed and they are not above the power of the
Okay,
country.
tell us, what must authorities do differently?
Not the authority, let me tell you, Mr. President has done everything humanly possible to fight this crime and criminality. He said the time would outnumber. He will never negotiate with bandits, and he stands by it. And what Operation Fansanyama is doing now in Zamfara State, they have recorded tremendous success in Gumi, and other parts of Katsina, that is in Matazu, and other places. But they have to do more to make sure that they restore peace in the region. Farmers have been deserted in their farmland. Turji have been imposing levies and taxes in the rural community. Even 2 days ago, he enforced 200 million to about 30 rural communities. Many Lansaidia have been imposing all these things. If you could remember, some people went last 2 weeks. Magamin did this. So elderly people went to Palm. They went to the hideout of the Jamo, one armed bandit. There was no peace. And that place, that Magamindi, the Angora Namai, is under Marado local government where the Minister of State for Defense come from.
Thank you, Dr. Shinkafi.
Thank you.
So it's a pleasure having you on the program to enlighten not only Nigerians, but the government and security agencies on the way forward. We do hope that they take a cue from what you have shared with us on security scope this week. Very many thanks indeed again for coming.
Thank you.
Right, we've been speaking with Dr. Abdullahi Shinkafi. He is the Executive Director of Patriots for the Advancement of Peace and Social Development. He's also served as a chairman of the Zamfara State Committee for the Prosecution of Armed Banditry-related Offenses. Bello Turji's latest message may be loud, but Nigeria's response must be louder in strategy, sharper in intelligence, and stronger in execution. Remember to say no to drugs. I'm Ada Isoponoye. See you next week.